The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the David Pakman Show. I am back from Washington, D.C. I brought a cold back with me, as well as a very bizarre hairstyle that I wasn't able to get under control today before coming in.
And that weird rash, right?
And the weird rash, yeah. Among other things, including a TSA story, which I'll tell you about. I'm wearing my David Pakman Show t-shirt today because we are in the last days of the David Pakman Show birthday free t-shirt giveaway. You go to davidpakman.com/birthday. Get a 1-year membership subscription. I'll send you a free t-shirt. You can pick the same size I wear. You can pick the same color I have on, or any other size or color, really. It's just not for me to decide, Louis.
Well, no, you're not going to be the one wearing it, Dave.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense.
No. Anyway.
Even though I decide what size and color you wear.
Right.
But that's because I'm the one paying for the shirt and hoodie.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's only whoever pays decides on the size and color, I guess is the fair thing. Yeah. Well, here's my latest TSA situation. I was in D.C. over the weekend, and a TSA agent, whose name I have but I'm not going to reveal, is stereotyping Massachusetts residents for opting out of the porno scanners. This is an interesting story, isn't it, Louis?
I actually don't know anything about this story.
You haven't heard it, right?
No.
But you're intrigued. You want to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. As you know, I like to opt out of the porno scanners and instead opt for a porno pat-down. Yeah. And in front of me, going through the security line, was my girlfriend. Now, she went through first, and they were going to have her go through the porno scanner, and they were going to do all sorts of scanning, apparently. And she opted out of it. The TSA guy who kind of moves the luggage along didn't realize that we were traveling together, so thinking I had no idea who the person was, he hears that someone has opted out, and he goes, from Massachusetts, I bet. The airport is in Connecticut. And I just kind of look at him very casually, and I'm trying to stay calm. I don't want to raise his suspicions that I might be upset, but I want to figure out what this guy's talking about. So I say, what do you mean? Why do you think she's from Massachusetts? And he looks at me, and then he looks over, and he sees that clearly, like our coats are in the same bin and that we're traveling together. And you can tell all of a sudden he needs to start parsing his words a little bit more carefully. So he says, well, I saw her license. Mm-hmm. And then I say, oh, really? Where'd you see her license? Knowing that her license is in a purse, in a backpack, covered by a coat. And the guy didn't see her license. All you need to actually go through at that point is just your boarding pass.
Right.
And he says, when I saw the boarding pass, I saw the license. And I'm like, no, it must have been someone else's because her license is like way, it's like 5 items deep. And he said, and then I said, well, why did you think she was from Massachusetts then? And he says, no, yeah, I just saw her license. Where Massachusetts? Where are you from? I'm like, western part. And he's like, oh, it's beautiful there. Beautiful there. And then he just starts talking about that. And then I looked at his name badge and I said, I say his last name and I'm like, oh, Smith, huh? And he goes, yep. And then at that point walks away, clearly thinking he stuck his foot in it. People are being stereotyped. If you opt out, if you care about cancer rays going through you, apparently you must be a liberal from Massachusetts, Louis. It's incredible what's going on there. I think we need an investigation.
An investigation?
Yeah.
Really?
It's prejudice.
It was in Connecticut,
It's complete prejudice.
It's not like if this happened in...
What, people from Connecticut don't care about porno scanners?
No. It's not like if this happened in Washington State, the TSA agent would assume that anyone opting out is from Massachusetts. So I think this happened because you were in Connecticut.
But people from Connecticut don't opt out?
No. I'm just saying. I mean, this is probably a pretty common thing, right? Over
What's
there, we're
common?
assuming in Connecticut
The prejudice is common, or people from Massachusetts opting out of the porno scanner?
How serious is it that someone is assuming someone's from Massachusetts because they opt out of a scanner?
Well, it's liberal prejudice.
I mean, they're not assuming you eat babies or that you do any number of other horrible things. They're just assuming, oh, well, this person's opting out, probably from Massachusetts. I mean...
And why? Why would people from Massachusetts opt out and not people from Connecticut?
Apparently, at this airport, I'm assuming a lot of people from Massachusetts are opting out of these scanners.
What's your reaction to this?
Well, I would say that you guys weren't discriminated against in any way. It was just, an under the breath comment that you happen to hear.
Yeah, like that. And still,
hold on
in
a
the
second.
end,
Hold on.
how was your experience different from anyone else who might have opted out or not have opted out?
I'll tell you. I was waiting for someone. I specifically withheld a bit of information for someone to say I wasn't discriminated against, because immediately after this, somebody comes over to me. It didn't correspond. They alternate between porno scanner and metal detector. I was going through the metal detector, and someone comes over and says, "You've been randomly selected for additional screening." And I said, "How? What are you talking about? I didn't opt out of the porno
Wait,
scanner."
hold on. You or your girlfriend?
Me. After my
That's because
conversation,
you spoke up.
after I spoke up, all of a sudden, I've been selected randomly for an additional screening. No alarm went off. No button went off.
Right, it's
nothing.
random.
Lewis can't read between the lines here.
I know
This
what's
has
going
never
on.
happened.
I know what's going on, Dave, but how can you prove that if they just say it's
You
random?
can't prove it. You can't prove it. No,
That's
but
my point.
it is suspicious, though.
Yeah.
No, but I think that there is something to be said about this, which is that you may not have been selected because you're from Massachusetts. So you weren't discriminated against because you're from Massachusetts. You were discriminated against because you spoke out.
Exactly. Oh, no question.
Which really isn't that bad. I mean, people who speak out always get singled out.
Yeah,
Right,
maybe I should
right.
be proud.
You can expect to be that type of treatment if you're, kind of making a scene at airport security.
It was a very calm. I was just kind of standing there like this, saying,
Well, I mean,
so why is she from Massachusetts? It was very calm.
Maybe your hair came off as somewhat threatening.
Yeah. No, that could have.
If it looked like that, I'm surprised they didn't beat you.